A good leader can make a lot of difference for community spirit. Selecting a leader with the right strength and qualities can lead to a more productive and happy community in resident association, joint management body JMB, and management corporation MC council in stratified properties. A manager does things right. A leader does the right thing. So, how do you recognize people who have this special combination of insight and inspiration as well as leadership qualities? Now, in this episode, I would like to highlight on choose the right leader and prosper. Leaders, good or bad, spell the difference between a well-run or badly run strata property. The concept of a management body should be fairly clear to Joint Management Body JMB and the MC Management Corporation Council members, or even to many long-time strata property owners. However, for non-active owners and residents, especially first-time owners, this form of common interest governance can be perplexing. What with the many parties, developer, managing agent, managing council, other buyers, etc. involved, not to mention the legal duties of each party. Those who have never lived in an owner corporation, condominium, apartment, townhouse gated community often do not understand the necessity of service charges, sinking fund rules and volunteering to sit in the management council. For them, the management can be perceived as little more than a nebulous entity that expects prompt payment on monthly invoices. This lack of understanding can lead to miscommunication and misunderstanding with a general perception that strata living is hard. Call it whatever name, the JMB MC Resident Association, RA, they are all basically an association of property owners looking out for the best interests. In the first two, it is a requirement by law for strata title properties under the Strata Title Act 1985 and the Strata Management Act 2013, SMA Act 757, whereas Resident Association RA are voluntary organizations registered with the Registrar of Societies. The SMA stipulates that the JMB shall be established upon the convening of the first annual general meeting AGM not later than 12 months from the date of delivery of vacant possession. This is to allow owners to expeditiously have a say in how investment is managed and maintained. Very often, only a small percentage of owners in strata title development take interest in how their properties are managed. This leaves the handful of volunteers burnt out after years of serving. There are also some who are interested but do not have the knowledge or skill to contribute meaningfully in the decision-making council. In the SMA, the management committee, be it the JMB or MC, the purchasers' representation should comprise a minimum of 3 purchasers and a maximum of 14. There shall be a chairman, secretary, and treasurer, all of whom shall be natural persons. Although these are voluntary positions, they have to be taken seriously because they involve people and their investment. Most owners' corporations are headed by a leader who might also be the chairman of the meeting. Strong leadership is an essential component of every successful owner's corporation. Very often, those who speak the loudest at meetings are elected, but that may not be sufficient for the long term. A good leader can make a difference for community spirit. Selecting a leader with the right strength and qualities can lead to a more productive and happy community. Here are some tips on how to choose the leader of your home community. A manager does things right. A leader does the right thing. Now, to add to that adage, a leader is someone who not only recognizes the right thing, but who can also motivate others to get the right thing done. Strong leaders should have skill, knowledge, and experience, plus the ability to motivate and command. How do you recognize people who have special combination of insight and inspiration? There are some personal characteristics that reflect strong leadership. Let me offer you 12 tips. Look for people who, 1. Respond maturely to criticism. No one in a position of power will escape criticism. Good leaders have the ability to discern when criticism is valid and should be taken note of, and when it is inapplicable and should be ignored. 2. Has an open mind. Must be able to approach problems creatively. Perspective is an invaluable leadership tool. Fear of change can lead to stagnation. 3. Communicate well. Able to express ideas clearly and persuasively, as well as help some team members who are not particularly articulate yet are valuable and productive to play their role well. 4. Acknowledge mistakes. Decisions may sometimes turn out to be errors. Instead of becoming defensive or making excuses, wise leaders acknowledge mistakes and make course corrections. 5th, are enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is contagious. With it, council members are motivated to keep working. Without it, voluntary work becomes a burden. 6. Lead by example and promote teamwork. Arrive on time, never shirks responsibility, and demonstrate good work habits. Effective leaders instill cooperation among the volunteers and facilitate teamwork, as well as pitch in alongside others and not just issue orders. 7. Listen to others. Seek opinion from others, encourage sharing of ideas among team members, and give credit when credit's due. 8. Have problem-solving skill. Use acquired knowledge and experience to get the job done. Number 9. Mindful and considerate. Genuinely caring leaders inspire confidence in others. Confidence leads to results. They delegate, give and seek constructive feedback, and know how and when to give praise. Praise is the simplest and often the most valued form of reward. Tactful leaders know how to criticize constructively, pointing out what is wrong without attacking personalities. Number 10. Have sound judgment. Able to identify and prioritize issues, then weigh alternatives carefully before making decisions. Number 11. Take responsibility. Never blame others for problems. And finally, 12 is visionary. Strong leaders understand and promote the community best interest. They set goals, communicate what's needed to achieve them, and then move towards them.
Avengers! Assemble.
Practical consideration. Other than the above 12 tips, there are some practical consideration when electing the leaders of your owner's corporation. A leader must understand the function of the owner's corporation and be familiar with the significant historical events of the community. Newcomers frequently make good volunteers. However, there are some situations which calls for someone possessing a historical perspective. For example, if the corporation is in the midst of a sensitive litigation or a new management contract, a newcomer might detract by insisting on covering all grounds again. How much interest has the candidate shown in the community and its undertaking? Has there been regular meetings, attendance, and participation in activities? If not, investigate the sudden interest. Be particularly careful about one-issue candidates who volunteer because they dislike a certain contractor or are opposed to a recent service charge increase. A candidate should not have conflicting personal and professional commitments. For example, a high public profile candidate may have numerous commitments that means infrequent participation. Such are the tenets of a purely voluntary organization. If they sound like a mini government, yes, it is in fact true. If you own a home with common property, you automatically become a member, like it or not. However, over time, you have noticed that homeowners can be categorized into 3 groups. Those who make things happen, those who wait for things to happen, and those who would ask, what happened? Which group do you belong to? Choose your leader well and prosper, or wait for the next election at the AGM and run for council member post. My next talk will be titled A HBA Guide to All Things Strata, where I will introduce to you HBA Guidebook and insight into the strata management legislation. This strata legislation affects anyone and everyone who stays in or own any type of strata properties of both residential and commercial category. See you in the next episode. Cheers.